And I've been told on a clear day you can actually see the Eiffel Tower. Wainwright says this is one of the most beautiful walks. Right then, welcome to Whitbarrow Scar.
A blueprint for what a campsite should be.
Well, hello everyone, if you're new here, my name is Colin and I create videos for people who like the outdoors, camping and hiking and visiting places off the beaten track. I do all this because I love discovering new things and I love to share those things with you so you can add them to your list of activities to do with your family while you're away in your camper van, tent or caravan. I also like to throw in a few facts or a little bit of history I've learned, give you tours of the campsites I'm staying at, and in some instances, get the campsite owners on camera for a quick interview. If all that sounds like your kind of thing, then why not hop on board the Yorkshire Pop Top Adventures train and subscribe to the channel? That would be nice. This week I'm revisiting a campsite that I've been to before, and I'm told there have been a few changes since my last visit just over a year ago. I arrived last night so I could get settled in as I'm heading out on a walk that's been recommended to me by the campsite as it can be done directly from your pitch. But now it's time to get some sleep and I shall see you in the morning. This morning we're heading towards a place called Whitbarrow Scar. I had Outdoor Active in my pocket, #not-sponsored, some sandwiches and snacks in my bag, and I started this walk just like my other walks, with one foot in front of the other. Skid risk. Check your pants. Well, this is lovely. I've got the place to myself. Just me, nature, and 25,000 of you on the internet watching. And a bit further into the walk, I've got some interesting facts for you. And not only that, I've thought to myself, if you want to steal these facts and pull them off as your own to bore your own family with, you're more than welcome. You have my permission. So it's a 7 or 8 mile walk with about 1,000 feet of climbing. I think most of that I've just done there at the very beginning, and it's a circular route, the one that I've planned. However, you can go up to where I'm going and back again as a there and back if you want to make it a bit shorter. There's no pub on this route sadly, but there is a pub about a mile from the campsite called the Derby Arms, so you could probably walk there and back for a quick pint if you're staying at the campsite, or integrate it into this route so you're doing an extra mile, getting some more miles in the legs, and also getting a pint at the end of it. However, my pint is in my fridge when I get back to the van. Lovely. Right, speaking of miles in the legs, let's do this. It truly was an amazing walk. Every corner I turned had a different landscape, and it was enough to keep my eyes occupied enough not to be thinking about my legs. A perfect combination for a walk. The weather also helped. A lot. No rain. Again. What? Right then, I think it's time for a little drink stop. I always give myself little miniature goals on the map and say at this point I'll stop to have a drink, and then I'm not thinking about the end point all the time because that's too big a goal for me, and it sort of puts me off. Whereas if I'm giving myself a miniature goal, let's get to this point, let's get to this point, let's get to this point, then I'm only concentrating on those little mini goals rather than where I'm going today. Right then, welcome to Whitbarrow Scar. It was at this point the up started. Well, apart from the up at the beginning, this was the big up. Big up, big up. Sorry, I went all Kevin and Perry then. Moving on. This place was formed over 350 million years ago, which means it will have been seen by the eyes of the dinosaurs. How mental's that? It's a mixture of woodland, grassland and limestone pavement. And for those that don't know, limestone is created by a lot of dead sea creatures all being compacted together over a very long period of time, because where I'm stood right now used to be a shallow tropical sea. Do you know what, as I'm walking along, I'm thinking I'm walking on like rocks and stuff, and I'm sure some of them are, but it's crazy to think that a lot of them are just squished sea creatures. And if you look closely at some of these, they've actually got little fossils in them. It's crazy. It just blows my mind to think that I would have been under the sea right now. Mental. And Whitbarrow shows signs of the last ice age if you look closely, with lots of glacial erotics. Or is that erratics? Basically boulders that were left behind when the ice retreated, and it's definitely erratics, not erotics. Although there are 50 different shades of grey here, it's not that kind. The limestone here was used for building materials, agricultural fertiliser and for the production of millstone. But now it's protected by law, so it's actually an offence to remove any of the limestone from here. Wainwright says this is one of the most beautiful walks, and do you know what? I'm inclined to agree with him. But take that with a pinch of salt, I think, because he says that about a lot of his walks in his books. So we've arrived at the top of a place called the Lord's Seat. We're 215 metres above sea level, and I've been told on a clear day you can actually see the Eiffel Tower. Or is that the Blackpool Tower? It's probably the Blackpool Tower, Col. So now I've made it to the top. It's time to have a well-earned sandwich, and then what we'll do is we'll head back down, have a look around the campsite, get you a campsite tour. Colin answers your questions and all that jazz. Can't wait. There's someone coming up now with a dog, so no doubt the dog's going to want a piece of my sandwich. I don't know if any of you guys do this when you're planning a walk. So I planned a walk on Outdoor Active, #not-sponsored, and I know where I'm going and what I'm doing. But then when I get to like the pinnacle of the walk, to the top, to here, I sit down, I have my sandwich, I have a drink, and then I look at my phone and I go, oh, I wonder if there's a quicker way back or a shortcut back. And I'm like, Colin, just enjoy your walk. You're out for the day. Just stretch those legs and enjoy it. But I do it every time. I've just been looking at my phone now thinking, oh, I wonder if there's another little path there that cuts off that corner. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Right then, sandwich had. I've done a bit of drone and I've taken some photographs. So if there are any good ones, I shall pop them up. But I think now it's time to head back down. And what I would usually do is not film the way back down again. But this is so beautiful that I'm going to film some of the walk on the way back down as well for you. Oh. Well, as you come through that gate at the top there, you're pretty much presented with a limestone cliff. Boulders all the way down, a bit slippy. Exciting and short but sharp down. And then once you're down at the bottom, it only takes about 5-10 minutes. It's nice and lovely and flat like this. Oh, beautiful though. But now I'm at the bottom and it's not windy, it's actually really warm. So I might have to do some stripping off. So this is the part of the walk where we retrace our steps just for a small amount before we turn left and head off over that mound, over there and through the trees. Lovely. Wrong side of the gate. So I'm the blue dot. You probably can't see it because of the frame rate, but yeah, I'm the blue dot and I'm pretty much on the path. And if you look, I can't go down there. There's no chance. It's got to have to be that side if that's where the GPS is saying the path is. Right. So that's definitely barbed wire. I don't want to knack his wall, but I Bear Grylls it. Full blown Bear Grylls it. And didn't knock any of his wall down, although there is quite a bit of wall knocked down there. That wasn't me. Campsite tour, let's go. Do you know what, this, out of all of the walk, is the hardest bit, and it's because the campsite is literally just there, about 50 yards away, and you have to walk all the way to the road to get back on the road to come back on yourself. Oh, gutted. I'm gutted that there's not a little path that takes you through. But if there is one, and I don't know about it, and I find out later, I shall adjust the route, but there's nothing on OS maps to say that there is a public footpath that way, so I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to follow the code and go the way I should. But we're almost back. I can't wait to get you a campsite tour, speak to the owners, do some Colin answers your questions, and chill the out. Now that was a walk. I absolutely love that, and I completely agree with Wainwright as well. One of the most beautiful walks that I've ever done in the Lake District. And if you want to do that walk, I'll put a link to where you can download the actual route that I did in the description below. If you follow the route that I've planned exactly, it's about 7.5, 8 miles. I did a few extra miles trying to find some photographic opportunities and also the YouTube miles extras, but you can do it directly from this campsite, and I've planned it where it starts pretty much from here all the way up, back round again, and it's absolutely stunning. The only thing it was missing was a pub, but you can walk 1.6 miles that way, and there's a pub, I think, called the Derby Arms. So I arrived pretty late last night because yesterday, Sunday, I spent with my family, went to go see my mum and dad as well. Happy birthday, Dad. I know this is a bit late, but I was there on your actual birthday, and by the time this video comes out, anyway, the sentiment's there. Happy birthday, Dad, whatever. Anyway, so I thought to myself, I'm not going to do any electric hookup or anything like that. I'll just pull up, get a few things out, set the bed up, diesel later on, go to bed, because I was up early this morning. So when I got back from my walk, I thought, do you know what, let's get the electric hookup plugged in. I went to go plug it in, and it's about that far off reaching. Gutted, I've only got a 10 metre one that's with the van. I do have a 25 metre one, but I never think I need it. Turns out I needed it today, but the campsite came to my rescue and let me borrow an extension lead, so now I can reach the electric hookup. So if that happens to you, just have a quick chat with them, and I'm sure they'll let you borrow one as well, so you can plug in, because we don't all carry around 25 metre hookup leads. Sometimes, you know, you are right next to an electric hookup, and then at some campsites you're not. And I really should take the longer extension lead. Just leave it in the van somewhere in a cupboard. But yeah, I just forget it. I'm such a doof. But anyway, we're plugged in now. Everything's charging up because I ran my diesel-liter battery down quite a lot last night. Well, my leisure battery with the diesel-liter on. So that's on charge now. We're pretty much at 99%. Solar's kicked in as well. We're all good. It's naked big eat time now. I need to put some carbs in. Starting to feel all funky. Right, see you in a bit. Bye. So after stuffing some carbs into my body, I chilled out for a bit and went for a much needed wonderful shower, so you join me after that. Don't forget to stay tuned for Colin Answers Your Questions, a chat with the campsite owners, and the all-important campsite tour. Oh, I've just had a shower and I feel amazing. Also, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to get some dinner on, and I have been so lazy this time. All of my dinners that I've got are microwave dinners. I've got this new wasabi vegetable gyoza. Yeah, I'm not even going to pronounce it. You can have a look. There you go. That's what I've just bought. And I'm going to pop that in the microwave. It's 2 minutes, add some water, 2 minutes, done. That's like the easiest camping food ever. if you've got a microwave. If you ain't got a microwave, just take your house microwave when you're on electric hookup and shove it in. Be right. Right, let's make some dinner and then it's time for Colin answers your questions. Nice. I think it's hot enough. Yes. Right then, it's now time for Colin answered your questions. Where did you get your windstopper gas hob cover thing from? So that's a proper easy one to answer. I got it from Amazon. I put a link in the description below and I absolutely love it. It packs up pretty small and flat, so it's easy to store, and it really does stop the gas burner from blowing out when it's windy. How is the rock and roll bed that you've got? So the rock and roll bed, it's good. It's not perfect, but we do like it. Now, the reason for that is because it was cheap, obviously. You know, we bought it at a budget to build the van when we bought the van, and we've not changed it since. However, we have made a few changes to it where I added more cushioning inside the actual seat part. It's all right. It did rattle a bit when we first bought it, so I got some of that, you know, the window sealer stuff that's kind of stick on foamy, and I stuck it to all of the metal bits that joined, so now they don't rattle, which is ace. I have been thinking though of getting rid of the rock and roll bed. These are all just thoughts, things that might not happen, and making a fixed single bed in there, so you've got all the cupboards underneath it and everything like that, that then slides out into a double bed when we need it. The advantage of that is then you've got the full length of the van for getting things into the back and in, or I don't know, and then you've got like a sofa area. You don't have to set your bed up every night, you've just got a single bed. Maybe something to look into if you're starting from scratch and you want to not buy a rock and roll bed, or you can't afford a rib bed, or both. Maybe look into those ones that slide out as well. I don't know. Give me your thoughts in the comment section below as to whether you think that's a great idea to do or whether it's a totally rubbish idea to do and to keep the rock and roll bed. Do you use your van as your daily driver and nip to the shops in it? So in answer to that question, this is my only vehicle. This is the vehicle that I drive to work, on days out with the family, when I come camping on my own, camping with the family, nip into the shop, nip into my friends, wherever I'm going, this comes with me. So yeah, to the person who asked this question, if you're worried about not being able to use this as a daily drive, you absolutely can use this as a daily drive. Nip to the shops, park in the parking spaces. I can even get this in some multi-storey car parks, not all multi-storey car parks. There's one in Leeds, I think it's Woodhouse Lane car park. It's a multi-storey and it's like 1.8 metres. It's literally for cars, but the light in Leeds I can get in there. Most barriered entries I can get in there. Just double check and make sure that your van hasn't got bars on the top, or it's not been raised up, or you've got like swamper wheels, because sometimes they're a little bit higher. Just make sure that that's not a thing, and you should be able to fit in most multi-storey car parks as well. It's now the end of Colin answered your questions.
Before we get into the campsite tour, let's go back to earlier today where I got to catch up with the owners of the campsite.
Yeah, hi, I'm Richard from Moss Howe Farm Campsite.
And I'm John.
So the site actually opened here at Moss Howe Farm in about 2013. We didn't run it then. We worked with the lady who initially set it up. We then came on the scene with our yurt business in 2015, and we worked with her right up until about 2 years ago when she retired, and we had the opportunity to buy the business, which we snapped up because we absolutely love it here. So we then took it on in 2023.
We've seen the good, the bad and the ugly over the years, and we always had these pipe dreams of, if, you know, we kind of chatted between ourselves and thought, if we ever have our own land or our own site, this is what we're going to do. Yeah. So we've basically had, well, at that point, 15 years worth of good, bad and ugly. And we decided that when we had the opportunity to purchase a site, we were going to set about putting together a blueprint for what a campsite should be. You're standing in one now. This was a redundant yurt that we had, a spare yurt. Making a shop in a round space isn't the easiest thing in the world.
We have 4 yurts here, and they're completely decked out in a kind of with a Moroccan kind of feel. They can sleep up to 6 people. They've got sideboard full of everything you need to cook and dine with for up to 6 people. We've got, they've all got private wood-fired Scandinavian hot tubs with them as well. Barbecue, and have everything you need for a really relaxing weekend away. Yeah, we've got a whole range of facilities here on site, some of which we're here when we took it over, and some of which we've developed. Electric now on most of the pitches, which we spent quite a lot of time digging into the campsite. We are in the process of completely refurbishing the toilet and shower facilities. We will have them finished by Easter. We've got a really, really good facility on the campsite for when it's chucking it down with rain. Campers can go up to the top in our barn. It's completely covered and stay dry. They can cook up there. They can hang out, play games, somewhere dry that's away from the damp tent, which is always nice. We've got a food wagon here. We do pizzas one day during the week and on a Saturday night. And we do freshly baked croissants, pain au chocolat and French stick available each morning. We sell wood, everything you need to chill out under the stars and enjoy a fire. One of the best things we have here as well is completely dark sky, and you'll get the best stargazing ever.
As Richard said, we've kind of expanded on our initial offering when we took over the campsite, so that was more electric on pitches. We've actually taken, believe it or not, we've reduced the number of pitches on the site because, you know, from feedback from customers, people just want more space. We also have encouraged kind of wilding in the areas, so we're allowing places to grow out, and we've got some amazing rare orchids, you know, some fantastic wildlife, flora and fauna, and we want to encourage more of that on the site. As Richard said, yeah, we've got an open-sided barn there that's a large frame. We're going to do more in there, so cinema nights, you know, hop-up restaurant nights, and really encourage more kind of dining experiences. The other side is that we're developing with literally a local brewery that is a stone's throw away from the campsite. They're on part of the estate and the valley that we're in. They are wanting to work with us to develop a tap room. There is talks at the moment of having a Long Valley beer or a Howe beer. Nice. That we are super excited about. Personally, you know, and Richard, you know, we the best kind of testers for this type of
absolutely
years of experience.
We've got to do it.
Yeah. It's a hard task. So, yeah, so we're looking forward to definitely testing the booze.
It's super easy to get to. When you're here, you cannot hear the road, you cannot hear a pin drop. It's super quiet. We're going to go for dark skies status next year, and hopefully keep the campsite open for another couple of weeks at least in early November for that festival they have here, and hopefully welcome lots of astronomers here to have a look at the constellations and the like. From here we have Whitbarrow Scar. Now I think you went up there today. Again, it's off the beaten track. Locals go up there, people run up there, but unless you're staying somewhere like this, you probably wouldn't go there with, you know, Central Lakes being not too far away and campsites.
The Wainwright as well.
It is, yeah.
It is a Wainwright, so yeah, the Wainwright Bagels will be up there. From the top of there, on a good day, you can see all the way down to Blackpool Tower, down one side, and then if you look the other way, you can see pretty much the whole of the lakes. This particular valley is really well known for damsons and apples. So another one of the people we're looking to be working, the businesses that we want to start working with next year, and we're already working with them selling their apple juice in the shop, is with the Slack Orchards. They grow huge amounts of apples and make the best apple juice going. So we're really fortunate to be able to stock it here. But they also do damson gin. So damson gin, good damsons don't grow everywhere. They only grow in certain soil types. And we're lucky enough to have a really, really strong damson orchard just down the road. And he has some of the best damson gin going. So once we get that tap room open, that's going in there as well. 5
miles down the road is one of the driest places in the country, Cartmel.
Oh, wow.
So we have the driest and the wettest, and Cartmel leapfrogs a couple of other venues around the country, but normally it's in the top 5 every year. So we've got Cartmel and Seathwaite, and that makes a huge difference for us here. You know, you literally only have to go from here to Kendal, and it could be raining in Kendal, but completely dry here. we're down as luxury yurt holidays, or Long Valley Yurts, or Howe Farm. You can search any of them and we pop up.
Howe Farm campsite is a family, dog and hiking friendly campsite just 20-minute drive from Windermere in the Lake District. This site isn't open all year round at the moment, but I am told that they're thinking of changing this in the not too distant future. I had a few bars of 4G, but there is Wi-Fi on site should you need it, and it's free. I've been here before, so let's do a quick rundown of its facilities. In the entrance of the site there is a waste recycling area, a wonderful undercover seating area for when the weather is bad, which also features a table football and lights up beautifully during the evening. Further into the site is a block that houses the large and spacious accessible toilet, fridge, freezer and washing machines. Next to that is the new female toilets. These were being used as unisex during my stay, as the male toilets were still being renovated, but these are due to be finished by the Easter holidays. The toilet and shower renovation is a big upgrade from what they used to look like. Here is a clip from the old toilets from my last visit versus the newly renovated ones. The showers were also super clean, lovely and warm too. To the left of the toilets is the undercover pot wash with a bin for collecting food waste, as they like to recycle in their new composter, which then goes to their wormery to create some super soil. There is a tap with a motorhome service point and plenty of flat pitches with electric hookup points. At the moment they don't have an Elson point, but this is something they may be adding very soon. This site doesn't just offer camping spots, but also these amazing yurts, one of which I managed to get a sneak peek inside of. There are also hot tubs with amazing views and these camping pods too, one of which has its own outdoor kitchen. I absolutely love this idea. As you saw from earlier in the video, there are plenty of walks directly from the site, one of them being the walk I did today, and the link to that will be in the description below. Prices range from £17.50 a night all the way up to £30 a night for a premium pitch. I'll pop a link in the description below to this site and where you can book.